Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. What do you think about if I tell you the words Tibet New Summer Motor Company? You wouldn't think much of it, would you? Also, what would people recommend if you're in the market for a 500cc class small adventure bike? What would they recommend? KTM 390 Adventure? Honda CB500X? Wonderful machines. But so is this one. And it's actually quite special. It's something that many more manufacturers should take note of, and it's a bike extremely consumer oriented. This is the Daytona Maverick 500. It's present in a couple of European markets under different names and different brands. From what I could gather, it is the company actually manufacturing them is Chinese, and they come to Europe and they are rebranded according to whatever country. But don't be put off by the fact that it's a Chinese bike, because we're gonna take a tour of it and then we're gonna take it out on the road, because this one is registered. We will take it out on the road, and you'll see it's actually quite special. Now let's get straight into it. Let's start with the front end. We have a pretty small windshield, but it should be enough to cover you from the elements. It's currently in its highest position. It has two positions. You can hard mount it in two different places. It's not adjustable on the fly. You have to unmount it and mount it lower. You have full LED lighting, indicators, headlight, daytime running lights, LED headlights, LED high beam, LED low beam, everything is LED as it should be in 2021. We have twin discs up front, 300 millimeters with twin calipers, 19-inch spoked wheels, but they are radially spoked. So here you have a tubeless tire, so you don't have to faff around with tubes. I know some off-roading people love their tubes because you can go with lower pressures, but this isn't your full-blown enduro bike. This is a medium adventure bike. And now let's get into the first few interesting parts. Front suspension is made out of upside down forks made by Kayaba. They are adjustable for softness and hardness, and they're not an optional extra. Everything I'm gonna tell you in this video, everything you see here on this bike, this is how it comes from the factory. These are not options. This is everything it comes with. And at the end I'll tell you the price, because you might be amazed. So, Kayaba fork, upside down fork up front, Metzler Tourance tires, and Nissan brakes. Also, crash bars. Crash bars included as standard with the bike, so you don't have to buy your own crash bars. Up here we have an analog tachometer and a digital dash, the normal switch gear, plastic hand guards. These are not metal. You might want to change these out for some bark busters if you plan on doing some proper off-roading. Adjustable front brake lever, and also something quite interesting. This comes standard with Bosch ABS. You do have normal ABS like any other bike, front and rear ABS, dual channel, but you can switch it from a button here on the dash. You can switch it to only front ABS, so you turn off the rear ABS, or you can switch off the ABS completely, so you can have full ABS, only front ABS, or no ABS at all. Also here up front you have a 12 volt socket, normal car socket. You have a USB quick charge 3.0 compatible. A raised handlebar. It has a bit of adjustment. You can lean it back a little bit towards you. 20-liter fuel tank, which with the 500cc engine that uses about 4 liters per 100 kilometers, with 20 liters you should be getting around 500 kilometers of range with it. You also get included a standard side stand, center stand. The pegs, you have white pegs with removable rubber inserts, so when you go off-roading in mud you can remove the inserts so your boot doesn't slip on the foot peg. Passenger pegs. You have a keyhole here to open the tail section. There is a bit of a storage space for your insurance and stuff like that. Chain drive with a hollow rear sprocket. On the rear 17-inch tire, the front one is 19, so it's 19 front, 17 in the back. Also Metzler Tourance tires. Here on the back, single-sided exhaust, LED lighting as up front, Nissan rear brakes, 240 millimeter brake rotor with I think it's a dual piston caliper also in the back. So Nissan rear brakes with dual piston calipers. Again, the removable rubbers. The seat is 820 millimeters tall, but it doesn't feel that tall because it's quite narrow here, so it's very easy to put your feet down. The rear shock is also a Kayaba adjustable rear shock, and if you look at it at the design, it is actually a pretty nice looking bike. You would have thought the Chinese don't know how to make premium products, but this is starting to look properly premium. Now let's talk about running gear. We have a 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine with a 270-degree crank. An engine like this is perfectly adequate for adventure touring. Why? Because it gives you a parallel twin. They're just about as torquey as the V-twins. So you have a lot of low-end torque. That's why the brake horsepower number isn't actually all that good. It's not that impressive. It is good for a 500cc, but it's not really impressive at just 46 brake horsepower. But you do get 40 Newton meters of torque at very low RPM. Couple that with a 6-speed transmission, this thing has some proper get up and go. It has no problem eating highway miles and also no problem carrying baggage. There is optional panniers and the top case, metal panniers, metal top case, so there are mounting spots for your luggage. With the parallel twin engine and the 6-speed transmission, it has no problem keeping up with traffic. It has no problems taking you to your destination. Water cooled, of course, the engine, because everything is water cooled these days. Very rarely do you see, especially adventure bikes, being air cooled. It just doesn't work for them. Also, one more thing included for free with this bike: proper beefy thick metal engine guard. Again, another accessories, you do not have to pay extra for it. It comes standard. So let's have a quick recap of the things that are different from any other manufacturer. Things that Daytona, the brand with it under which is marketed here in Romania, things that they have decided should be included for the regular normal asking price. It should not be optional extras. You have adjustable forks up front, adjustable shock in the back, Metzler tires, switchable ABS, only rear or both wheels able to turn off ABS. You have metal engine guard, you have crash bars, hand guards, adjustable levers, Nissan brakes all round. Actually, it's quite impressive, and the most impressive part is that the price of this motorcycle here on the road price is 6,200 euros. Compare that to the main competition, which is the CB500X from Honda. This is over 1,000 euros cheaper. It has the same power, a lot more kit standard on it. Looks pretty much the same. It has spoked wheels, which are better for off-road, as everybody knows. And it's $1,000 cheaper. Really gets you thinking, doesn't it? That they could have made something like this, and also coming in at such an aggressive price. Now let me show you the dash, because there are a few interesting parts in the dash as well. All right, let's take a look at the dash. Ignition on. As you can see, we have analog tachometer here and a digital dash, plus the warning lights up top and here on the side. So what do we have for information? So what do we have for information on the dash? Here on the left side, you have your fuel gauge, how much fuel is in your tank. Also, you have your range. Yeah, that doesn't change. You have your range. Here you have your odometer and your trip meter. And here on the right, you have your engine water temperature. Above here you have the clock, gear position indicator, average fuel consumption, your speed, an altimeter. Okay, you have an altimeter in your dash, and also two riding modes: sport, or you press select, and safe. We will try that out when we get it out on the road. We will see what the difference between sport and safe is. Also a trick, because there are no buttons for the switchable ABS, what you do is hold the select button, hold it in, and you see this flashing. Now you can choose rear ABS disengaged, entire ABS system disengaged, or ABS system on. So if you put it now, the rear wheel is flashing, hold it again, that flashes, registered, only the rear ABS now has been turned off. Keep it long pressed again, and once again we cycle through the different options. And when you want select it, there we go. Now it's in ABS mode again. This is very important for when you're off-roading, because many times you want to be able to turn off the rear ABS when you're off-roading. It's not, I would have preferred to have a dedicated button on the handlebars, but this works just as well, so you don't turn off your ABS by accident. Alright, so now for a bit of a conclusion on the Daytona Maverick. It's actually a pretty awesome bike. For the price, the really aggressive price at 6,200 euros, you get a parallel twin engine, 500 cc's, almost 50 brake horsepower, a 6-speed transmission, metal engine guard, crash bars included in the price. You get adjustable front and rear suspension, switchable ABS, Metzler tires, options for rear luggage, panniers and top case. You get a 20-liter fuel tank which gives you almost 500 kilometers of range, spoked wheels so you can really hoon it off-road, 19-inch front wheel, and the 17 in the back. I am honestly amazed how much is included at this price point. This should be a 300cc bike, not a 500cc bike. But somehow they have managed to get everything in for just this price point, and they haven't skimped on quality. You get Nissan brakes, you get Bosch fuel injection, Bosch ABS, you get Kayaba suspension, front and rear. Absolutely amazing. This is, honestly guys, this is an awesome bike. If you have it in your local market, and if you're in the market for something like this, I'm not saying don't buy the CB500X or the 390 Adventure from KTM, but if you are able to test ride one of these and to see it in person, do yourself a favor before you buy anything. Check this out. Check this out first. Also check out the others and then make up your mind. But check this thing out, because I am quite impressed with how much is included and how well built everything feels. The switch gear feels really nice. It feels quality. The tank is a plastic tank, but this part is metal, so you can mount yourself a nice tank bag. The crash bars, real solid metal crash bars that meet under the front wing to give adequate protection, and here they are frame mounted. And the thickness of the bash plate, this is not a joke of a bash plate. This is a proper thick metal bash plate, and it covers the entire underside of the engine, including the exhaust, the oil pan, everything. So do yourself a favor before you buy, before you decide, if you have this in your local market, have a look at it, take it out on test ride, see if you like it before you spend the extra 1,000 to 2,000 euros on its competition. That has been it for the static review. get subscribed to the channel, because I will be taking it out on the road. This one is registered, I can take it on the road. We're gonna take it on a quick blast around the city to see how it handles city traffic, and I'm gonna try to find a bit of off-road. I don't know if I can find some off-road, but at least some rough roads. It's Bucharest, it shouldn't be hard. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you want to see more. Take care out there and ride safe. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.